Baba, تعال انا بغيت نمشي عندك بعدا وين Yeah.
With five things on.
No, to take him on with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a leash.
Yeah.
But they bite, no? Camels bite.
Yeah, they bite.
But they don't spit.
Huh?
They don't spit.
They spit also sometimes.
Okay, they do.
The milk, and then it's foam coming out.
And they snore on.
They snore.
And that's
I didn't know they can snore.
it's not snoring, but they make like kind of sound during the night.
We call that snoring.
I'm about
هذا سلام ما ابرش تيار الناس يا اكون ما بايدين عندك عشان هذا كان هذا تروح هذا محمود ترى هذا كاست عارف يقدر مع هذا ما يراني اطلع عنده وش هذا الساي تقدر وراجع ايوه اللي تقول لك يوم قاعد او بس صبر كان تبغى تشوف
Geride kalma polis yerine.
Sorry. No problem. So there is something in the kitchen going on. Stop.
Can you try again?
Of course.
Yeah, I will let you know when I record it. It's not really recorded.
So how was it?
It's like sound is mixed. Sometimes I
It's alright.
stay for a
It's
long
alright.
time.
But do you have problems tuning?
Hmm?
Do you have problem
it's
tuning?
Like okay.
We're already doing it. have audience in the background. Adi will come, so he'll be your next guy clapping.
Boğazında kalsın. Bardağını da getirebiliyorsun.
Well, look, as I said, no, then there's uncompleted. The time to walk over, I started to ride on for the house. And then they looked right out of the drum, but I should will not have the mere voice to the ruins. Why did we get to go? How's that to me with that? Then going into this house and he said, "You want to have a sheep to I am caught middle." Now, just is dead. It goes every time. Done. Out. Then going into this house and he said, "You want to have a sheep to I am caught middle." Now, just it goes every time.
يا ابو رقصة حلوة يا ابو رقصة حلوة يا ابو رقصة حلوة حلوة يا ابو رقصة حلوة حلوة يا ابو رقصة.
جبد المخلط. خلاص تعالوا نحلوا على هذه. بودينا حمالينا. تعال الزين تعال. الله يهديك بيها.
And you see where we're gonna camp for today. It's amazing.
Where do we camp today?
وقليبها مجروح عييت ما نكتم في قلبي سرها ونبوح عييت ما نكتم في قلبي سرها ونبوح قولوا لها الممرضة يا لال يا لال لو لها الممرضة يا لال يا لال عييت ما نكتم في So first of all, my name is Mustafa Ilayadi. I was born here in the desert, nearby Lake Iriki, close by a small village called Sidi Abndi. And I got my primary here in the village. And how I come that I know the desert like the back of my hand is because I use it to travel with my father because we are nomad. And I use it to travel with him with the dromedary for a long time. So we travel through the whole Sahara, like especially from here to Mahamid, Tafraout, and up till Merzouga, and then we make this entry of Till Ayun, Dakhla, Tata, Smara. We traveled all these places when I was yet a child with my father, and we all the time travel from one place to another. We stay like in one place for several days, and then when this place is no longer useful for our dromedary, we travel to another place. Or when, for example, in the summer, a well is dry, we are obliged to travel to another place where there is more source of water. And this allow me to know the desert as the back of my hand, because we use it to travel by day and we travel also by night, because my father, he traveled by stars, so he know the navigation of stars. So when, for example, in the heat of the summer, when it is very hot, we travel by night because it's more fresh. You don't need more water, and the weather is perfect for traveling. And after that, after I got my primary, I went to Funzgit to get my middle and high school. After that, I went to the university to get my degree in the study of English, option of linguistics. And here I discover again the civilization, because for me, I have been experiencing the both worlds, the civilization and the rhythm of life in the desert, where it is very calm, very peaceful, and level of life here, of the speed of life, is very slow. So this gives me like to see life from two angles, or from different angles even. And when I was at the university, I was all the time considering myself as an ambassador of the nomads, because not all the nomads can have the possibility to finish their study and go till the university due to so many reasons. And when I say that I finish it, it doesn't mean that my situation was better, but it because of the encouragement of my father, because my father, he was really a wise man, and he told me once that if you want to, he asked me, Mustafa, do you want a better life, or do you want a life like me with the dromedary? I told him I want a better life. He told me the only way to get a better life is to have a high education. And since then, I all the time think of quitting the school at an early age, thousands of times. But when I remember what my father said, I have to continue again. And this what gave me the encouragement throughout, my study period, to finish my studies. And as I said, when I was at the university, I was considering myself as an ambassador of the nomad, because life here in the desert is getting harder and harder because of lack of rain and water. And as you know, when we don't have rain, we don't have grass. When we don't have grass, we don't have animals. So this is what, when I finish my studies, I return back to my father's place. I use it to go with the dromedary for several months. And then I found that we are in need of another source of life, that we can continue this rhythm of life. Otherwise, it's impossible, because we need to bring food to the animals. And if we are selling one dromedary every time to get food for the rest, means that one day we are done. We have we will have no animals anymore. When we don't have any animals in the desert anymore means that we need to search for another place, and means the civilization. And this is what I don't want. So I told my father, I will help you, but in another way, to search for another source of life. And then at that time, I start working in the field of tourism, because also it was my dream at the beginning. When I was, at the university, I started thinking about it. And for now, I'm trying to develop the area of Lake Uriki, because it's not that much touristic. But I try to develop it that it's well known, that people know it. And when they know it, it's like more chances of work to offer for the locals. And when the locals one of the family, for example, have a chance of work, he can support his family. And this is how we can guarantee the continuity of the nomads in the desert. Because for me, it's very important that we keep this rhythm of life, this beautiful way of life, because for me, I found it really very beautiful, since I have been trying the civilization and the desert rhythm of life, and I choose the rhythm of life in the desert. And I want to keep this rhythm of life going on. And I think one of the main things that we can, support the nomads here is to develop the field of tourism here, that people can have a chance of work, that their family can have another source of life, that they can stay in the desert. Because unfortunately, we have each year 2 or 3 families that are quitting the desert, going to civilization because they don't have any animal anymore. And here, for me, this is a very great phenomena that if we do not work on, that it will, maybe in the future, we will have nobody in the desert. And that's a pity, because it will disappear a lot of tradition, a lot of culture, a lot of beautiful culture that maybe you will not find anywhere else, but in this place of Morocco. And for me, I find it a duty to sacrifice and to try to keep this tradition and this culture, and to try to defend this tradition and this culture to be continuing, and to to develop, and the only way I think that is for now is to develop the field of tourism in the area.
Aren't you worried that tourism will change how you actually live here in the first place?
You mean that the tourism will change?
Yeah, the people.
It's all the time in life. There are some time when we change. There are some time when change come to us. And if we don't know how to adapt with this situation, maybe it's hard. And this is the case that we have now, because when we have this dry climate, and because of the climate change, we have a lot of phenomena. And if we don't know how to deal with it, then for sure it will arise as other phenomena that will come. And for me, if we have one person from each family, it's not a big deal. It will change a little bit throughout the time, but still, like people like me who know the tradition, who know the culture, who know a little bit about the civilization, they will not change, because you know everything, so you will not change. Nothing will change. And if the person is really, raised in a way, I think it will not affect him that hard. And at the end, I found that we need a solution for this situation that we have.
That's a good point, because one of the things I always see is when you look into the abyss looks back into you is a good saying. It changes you when you interact. And it's just the fact that we see in different cultures and colonies, which isolated groups of people, when they interact with tourism, and then suddenly they become them.
Yeah.
It engulfs them.
Yeah.
But that being said, what I'm curious about is, how did you feel on your first day when you went to the university in Agadir?
Yeah, that is a very interesting day. When I went to the university the first time, I feel that there is a very huge difference, because in the desert I use it to the quietness, to the silence of the desert. I use it to see far away. I used to use my binocular searching for my dromedary for really far away. But when I go to the university, the city for me was considered like a big prison. It's like all what you can see is walls. You can't see far away. And this kind of limit my freedom, like I feel that my freedom is a little bit taken away, because I can't go out from these walls and see the nature, see far away, feel freedom. And at the university all the time, walking in street, and noise of the cars, noise of motorcycles, I start, the problem that come here is I start thinking about other things of civilization that I never think about when I was in the desert. In the desert, I start my day in the early morning with the dromedary, meet some friends in the field, and you think about nothing because you don't know anything. But when I go to the university, I start thinking about cars, about, apartment, about like basic life, basic thing in life, that normally people think at the civilization. And this take me away from my entire freedom and peace of mind. Because when I was in the desert, I was completely in peace of mind. And here I remember a verse of a poet. He said, وَأَهْلُ الْعِلْمِ يَشْقَى بِعِلْمِهِ وَأَبُو الْجَهَالَةِ بِجَهْلِهِ يَنْعَمِ. Those who are aware with their awareness, they are suffering. And those who are ignorant with their ignorance, they are in peace. So when you don't know anything, your mind is in peace. But when you start discovering things, you are running from one thing to another. And I think one of the main phenomena and problem that attack the civilization now is people having a lot of choice, and they get lost in choices. And this is what we don't have in the desert. You don't have much choices. And this is what gives you a very simple life. And for me, life is not about choices. Life is not about having a car, having an apartment, running from one apartment to another, from a luxury car to another. Even if you have a lot of money, life is very simple. As long as you leave it simple, it's simple. As long as you try to make it more than simple, it's complicated, and then it's complicated for you as well. And then you don't feel like the taste of life anymore. So when I was at the university, as I said, I feel, the difference between civilization, between the calm and the peace that we have in the desert.
And I can understand that coming from, I don't call it the civilization, but I would call it the requirements of modern economies that we come from. Given that how societies function today in large countries, in large Western developed countries, you would have to work, pay taxes, pay for social security, pay for your insurance, and then basically you work a fraction of the effort that we put in everyday life goes into making sure that systems work. And it has to, because without it, you are not able to sustain such a large group of people in a such small area of space. Whereas here, there's just us. And until the horizon, I see nobody. Would you consider to move to the city? Or any large city even, not just a city? And if so, what would make you move there?
I don't think that I will move to the city. Because for me, as I said, I see life in the desert and I see life in the city. And I find myself and my soul in the desert. I find that I belong to the desert. And I find that I want to live my life in the desert. And going to the city could be an option. But I can't stay the whole time in the city. I can't stay the whole time in the city. I could, for example, if there is something that is really very important, for example, if I got married and then my wife want to stay in the civilization, I could understand that because we are free, and I don't want to also take somebody and put him in my freedom while he's not free when he's with me in the desert. So everybody should be free. And if she wants the civilization, we can have like a kind of deal, a few months in the civilization, a few months in the desert. Because for me, I can't just go into the civilization or into the city and stay in the city. So it's
understandable, and also equally difficult for us to survive here.
Yeah.
But what do you find as the most difficult thing while interacting with people who had never left the city?
There is many things, for example, you can discover, you can see that people don't know how to live in the desert. You know, they take it all the time in a complicated way. You know, they start, complicating things. And in the desert, this shouldn't be. Because for me, when I was walking with the dromedary for distance, and then I come to a well, and then I say, oh, the well is empty. I have to walk another 40 kilometers to find another well nearby. This teach me to be patient, and this teach me whatever happen, all the time you keep calm and all the time you be patient. And I think from what I discover in the civilization, or people coming from the civilization, is that they want everything strict and they want everything planned and they want everything, at this time, at that time, at this time, at that time. And then they are kind of depressed with this rhythm of life because they are used to the civilization that they do things, very planned. And in the desert, you can't plan this. In the desert, you go and you say, Inshallah, today here, tomorrow there. You're going this direction. Maybe a rain come, maybe wind, very strong wind. You can't continue. You have to change again the plan. So you have to go with the flow in the desert. So just keep calm and, be patient and go.
Noted. Well, I guess this marks the first part of all the questions I had. I will have more.
Yeah.
And perhaps in a day or two, we can again reconvene on reflecting on what we're doing, as I also go through my own foot infection and a broken camera.
Yeah.
And just as a side note, we are currently using Mustafa's camera because my camera decided not to work in the middle of the night while taking a long time lapse during the night. So Mustafa was kind enough to say, why don't you take my camera and shoot it instead of using your mobile phone? Thank you, Mustafa.
That's with pleasure. Thank you so much also, Burak, for your time and for your kindness. Thank you so much.
Likewise, thank you.
Thank you.